Hello again, Void Scale here. I've let this dry now, and I repositioned my lighting a little bit to get more straight down lighting. And as you see, I've added a lot more blue tack. I don't know how it's going to hold this time. I do have some of the same bit here. It does worry me because so far it has been jumping up. Anyway, now we are going to work on trying to do some highlighting, some dry brushing. And I'm switching brushes for this one. This time I'm using a number 2 flat brush. And of course, since we're highlighting, we're going to take our burnt sienna again, and we're going to add in some titanium white from the same source as the black was. So, as you can see, I've cleaned the palette in the time this last, but I'm still using this the same. Maybe I should get another one, but for now, we're going to stick with this one. So the dry brushing technique is going to be my largest challenge so far. So we're going to try to, let's see, get a little bit of this in here. Not much, just a little bit, come on. I'm going to try to use my brush here to knock this down. Alright. Now we're going to try to see if I can add an equal part of the white. And we're going to cut it right about there. And hopefully that will be good for our mix. And let's get mixing. Let me hold this so you guys can watch the mix. So you guys should have seen about what it was. I was hoping to do about 50-50. Not sure if that's actually what I ended up hitting. Mix, mix, mix. If you ask me, this is starting to look a bit like a flesh tone, which is probably something I'm going to want to keep into mind later when I actually do a skin. So I think that's enough with the mixing. Alright. Now we are going to clean off the brush. Okay. And we're going to start adding in some water to thin it down. Alright, I think that is pretty good. Alright, now I'm going to take a little bit on the edge. And we're going to see if this works. So we want to I might have underdone it a little bit. Alright. I apologize again, as I am constantly going out of the camera. Now again, this is something they say to do against the grain because the base is the way it is. Every way is more or less against the grain. Might have had a little bit too much there for a second. Right there. I'm gonna see what we can do about that. As you may notice, I am taking from the napkin. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I just don't feel like wasting my paint. Now they say to do a light hand, and I'm probably going a bit too hard. But we will see how the end result is. I am still getting a little bit on my side of my base, but that is okay. I can always fix the side of my base a little bit later with the basic color. So there is my first set. Dry off my brush. So now I'm going to add in a little bit more white. Just a smidgen, or attempt to do just a smidgen. That looks like enough. And now mix, 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 mix. and make this even lighter. Try to get these pink guys from the edge. Alright. Okay, hopefully that's good. We are going to add in a tiny bit more water because we added in some more paint. Okay, and wash the brush off again. Should probably start setting up a different brush as a mixing brush, just to prevent damage from my main painting brushes. Alright, now I am a little bit worried about how this is coming out kind of pinkish instead of a lighter brown. But hopefully it's not going to hurt me too badly. So now let's give this another bit of highlighting. Going to try to go even lighter this time. With my brush strokes. Okay. Now the pros, you see them doing this stuff without any paint going all over the place like I do. But unfortunately, I'm not a pro. I'm not even all that good with painting. I'm honestly amazed my hands are staying as well put as they are. Now these aren't tricks of the trade that I've learned over time. I've been spending the past few weeks reading, watching videos, stuff like that. In case you're wondering, the #1 video that I've really been watching has been the girl painting series, which I'll try to put a link up in my description for this one. I don't think I'm going to be anywhere near as good as her for quite a while yet, which is understandable. She's been painting for 20 some odd years now. Okay. Now I'm going to try adding more white. Sorry about the shadow here. I'm going to add a lot more white because I want to get a lot more of a highlight this time. I should probably be careful about my brush that has paint on it. I almost gave my little spud tater an accidental paint job, which I don't think the very light brown that I'm using here would be a nice add-on to his black helmet. Now, in case you're wondering, I think I mentioned this in the very first video, but we started a Pathfinder campaign recently, and so we're working on setting up minis for this. There's a whole bunch of minis in store for the campaign. There's 4 players, myself included. Unfortunately, I'm only painting this one. On the bonus, however, I was having difficulty picking between this one and another one ahead of the time. A little bit more water. So I have 2 minis. I also have a special little project that I want to work on in the future for it. Alright, a little paint here. Gonna try and move my napkin, get up a special little area. Alright. So let's give this another shot. Let's load up my edge of my brush from this. So we're gonna paint with this. This video might end up being a little bit longer because I think after I do this, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of pure white. Okay, I think that's good for that layer. I'll give it another little brushing over. Okay. And now we're gonna get some pure white going. Probably don't need that much. We're gonna make sure we get a whole lot of water. Okay. Got some paint from a different part of the napkin on my hand, but that's okay, it's just my hand. Alright, I wasn't being too happy with the way it was turning out before, but now that I'm adding in the white, I'm starting to get a little bit happier with it. Starting to make the color a little bit more where I would like it. Giving the highlight that I would like. Again, as I mentioned, part of my problems here could stem from how I did poorly with the basing with the play sand. That might not be the best material, but I have tons and tons of it now. So I'm probably going to be using it for a while. If anything, this looks like it could be a bit of a snowy ground. Which I guess could work. Alright. That's going to be it for my base. So there we go. Hopefully it looks passable for now. Maybe white shore or something. We'll see how it turns out. I do have a couple of additional plans for him for that base, but that's going to be taken care of later. For retrospect, here's the first mini I did again 10 years ago, and you can see the base there. All I did was paint it purple. I don't know why purple. That's what I did. Right, so that's it for now. Sorry for the length of this one. Sorry for the length of all of them. But hopefully I'll be quicker as I go along. Ta!